All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. Bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue. Welcome on Zoom, YouTube, and in person to Concordia University's fourth space. Thanks so much for joining us for Keeping Score, Instructions for a Walk. This is a participatory performance, and it's part of the CUCCR Artists in Residence project developed by Raviya, who's here with us today, in which she's experimenting and exploring working with material and immaterial processes. So I will be handing it off to Raviya in a second, but first just want to let you know that we are streaming to YouTube Live from Fourth Space, which is located on unceded Indigenous lands here in Tiohtià:ke, Montreal. We'd like to extend our gratitude to the Kanien'kehá:ka Nation, who are the caretakers for the lands and waters we're meeting on, for their teachings about the earth and our relations. And if you are new to Fourth Space, welcome once again. We work with our university community here to mobilize and exchange knowledge by co-creating daily activities, workshops such as this one, for example. So it's our pleasure not only to have collaborated with CUCCR for this event, but also with Raviya specifically to make this walk happen. So Raviya, I'll pass it over to you so you can introduce yourself and your project. Welcome in.
I think Maya's gonna get.
Oh, sorry, Maya.
All good. I'm just going to talk a little bit about CUCCR and some of the context of why we're here. So I'm Maya. I'm one of the coordinators at Concordia University's Center for Creative Reuse, which basically is an initiative to divert Concordia's waste and make it available to the public for free, the general community. So we have a material depot in the Grey Nuns building, and we also do a variety of programming and collaborating with artists and different people across the university and outside of it as well. So our material depot looks like a huge variety of materials that come from Concordia's waste stream, everything from raw materials to art supplies, all that kinds of stuff. So everyone is welcome to come and take a look. Yeah, and this is our 5th year of having an artist residency, which has always been amazing. It's a way of engaging artists and thinking about sustainability, but also the potential of repurposing and reuse and thinking about the full life cycle of the materials they're using. It's always been great. And yeah, so this year we have 6 artists and from a variety of faculties, which is awesome. In the past, it's just been fine arts, but this year we've opened it up a bit. And yeah, Raviya is in studio arts and has been doing amazing work, all centered around the color blue and materiality and immateriality. And I'll pass it to her.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm not used to talking on a mic. I'm gonna just give you a rundown of how the next hour is gonna look like. Well, before I start, actually, I think I'm gonna read out a land acknowledgement, just because I think it's important to, especially at this moment, consider the land we're working with, because this performance and the work we're doing is like, it's not just the site, but the material for the performance. And so, I'm just gonna read out the Concordia acknowledgement, but I'd love to talk about it more afterwards too, the idea of using land as a material. Okay, we'd like to begin by acknowledging that Concordia University is located on unceded Indigenous lands. The Kanien'kehá:ka Nation is recognized as the custodians of the lands and waters on which we gather today. Tiohtià:ke is historically known as the gathering place for many First Nations. Today, it is home to a diverse population of Indigenous and other peoples. We respect the continued connections with the past, present, and future in our ongoing relationships with Indigenous and other peoples within the Montreal community. All right, so so what we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna just give a rundown of what I've been working on, and then around, like in a few minutes, I'll just send people out for the walk. It'll be 30 minutes, and we'll come back around 1:45 or something, so we can come back and have a discussion about how the experience was for everyone. And then I'm gonna be giving these sheets here for you to record your experience of the instructions and performance. So Yeah, like Maya introduced, I would have been working with the color blue. A lot of people here already know that I've been doing that work. And I've been making a lot of paper, but I've also been taking a lot of walks. And so it's kind of turned into a writing project, and I've like created a little book that of like all the research I've been doing regarding that. And so what the work here today is about is kind of inviting you in on that research and just kind of expanding it to something that can be like participatory. And so let me read out the instructions for you. Take a walk, search for blue, and collect it. And yeah, I want you to walk and look for blue on the piece of paper that I'll give here. Have you record it for me, and you can go in any direction you want, whatever that means for you. You can count it, you can map it, you can yeah, just anything that you feel, any direction you want to take it in. And it's self-guided, so you can see where you want to go. There's a little crude map I've drawn here, kind of giving a little parameter so you can go and come back in time. But yeah, I think what's important about this work here, I think it's like a collaborative effort. It's not so much it's like you're performing research as well, but we kind of I'm going to make it into a little book afterwards, all the research I've collected from your notes and my own. And so it'll be a cool little collective book we make together. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes. But yeah, and there's pencils and pens here if anyone wants to. There's also Ziplocs if you want to collect material and put it in that. But just feel free to grab one of these and then head out for the walk. Is there any questions? I was given by Arian some blue file folders, and I just shredded them up, combined it with other paper I'd collected, and it made them blue. Yeah, so I'd just reuse blue material. Yeah. And so I mean, you have 30 minutes, so you could even just like walk the same street over and over again for 30 minutes if you really wanted to, but like you can go up to all the way up to Pine and back, Atwater, like just look at the like just wherever, like I mean you can look in your own maps on the phone, just so you have enough time to be back by 1:45. So yes, I should mention that. I will have, I don't know where the actual physical, like, I don't know what I'm gonna, I mean, there's just gonna be one copy, but I'm gonna scan it and make a PDF, and everyone like will be credited for the work they're doing. So just write your name on it as well, and I'll send it out to everyone involved. Like there's a notebook here if you wanna just like write down your email, and I'll send out the digital version of it. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I feel like the work I've been doing is kind of trying to answer that question. I don't know why I've really been looking for it. But I feel like it kind of, I've been in pursuit of it, but it's also sort of in the pursuit of me in a way. So I'm not sure I can fully answer it yet. No, I have not. I will. Okay. 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 Thank you. I like that everyone's wearing something blue. All right, so I mean, if everyone's ready, just grab one of these. You can grab some materials to take with you and like start walking.
And yeah, I love the task. And what came was the blue in me, but not exactly me, around me. And I named it the blue which carry me, and it was the blues which carry me, and it became a poem. Yeah, about the blue that is there already, that was there from the start, that is above, that is below, that is within us, and then like the blue as the color of water and of the planet, and all the shape that this water can take, all the movement that she has, and the stillness eventually. And then I connected with my cat. For some reason, I associate blue with her. When she passed away, it was blue, and I'm wearing blue since. But also with some artists who I was struck by their blue, like Zhao Buking or Chagall, and a poet, Alexis Polinka. And I think the poetry also comes because I do poetry with her, like do some workshop often. So it's a bit of an homage to Alexis. Yeah. And then when you say it, I don't know. And then you said something like, at the end we talked and you said that now you could only see blue. And I remember that the magpie, is that how you say it in English? It's bird. And other birds really like to collect blue objects. And sometimes their nest is full of blue and they steal blue, like they steal things out of blue. So I was like, yeah, what if we only see the blue and collected the blue, which is what we did.
Yeah, it's interesting. It starts plaguing you once you start working. Following you around.
I felt like you really stood out. And I wasn't sure if it was because I was paying attention to it or if it's because it's like March and everything is so gray. And there's a couple colors downtown. I don't know. There's something about this environment that felt like the only things that were bright colors were like signage or clothing. And for sure now I'm like looking at this bright red sign. For sure there's other colors, but I feel like in my mind gray and blue aren't that far. I'm surprised that blue was like standing out so much. It's the gray.
Yeah, I noticed there was this store that had the steam going out, a big water steam, and when it was going on, it was white, but when it goes through the sky and you look at it through the sky, the steam, it becomes blue, which was really surprising. Because when you really look at things, it can transform into blue, especially organics. I don't know why. Maybe it was because of the sky and like physics or something. I don't know, but sometimes it disappears in things you didn't think it was blue.
It appears in places you didn't expect it to.
Yeah, exactly.
And like things become blue out of course.
I didn't see through things. I think about all the images I saw were like water or glass, and they're like not colored, but they almost turn blue.
Yeah, the buildings, the glass buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Really?
appearing blue.
I was so shocked, like all of the glass ones. And I was looking up, I was like, oh, it's all blue. Everything's blue now. It's very scary, actually. It's a bit concerned.
It is kind of overwhelming. Like when I first started, I was seeing everywhere I went, and it kind of just was like a bit too much to handle at first because you just open up this like perception of it.
But it feels like a good meditation exercise. Because when you do it, like you're really like looking around and you feel like really present. Which was really nice.
That's nice. Yeah. I like
Mm-hmm.
It really points out how it's such an excellent research exercise. We often think about, especially like in an academic context, research is like book laden, which it can be. It's wonderful, but just attuning your attention to what's already around you is such an immediate embodied research element. So it was nice how like we're all witnessing that, but then also how like research is also super subjective. Like there's certain things that you'll notice and carry away that others won't, but still commonality. So it's like a web
The walk itself, not just for blue, but for any other purpose. Be like a research environmental practice, conducting research. Yeah. It was very strange because like it led me to a place that there was no blue and I had to go look for it. Like at first blue was everywhere and I didn't like that because I couldn't focus my mind. I wanted to like really be absorbed in it and I feel like there was too much of it to be absorbed in it. So I walked to like where there was like the train tracks and I just sat there and I like tried to find the blue instead, which I found really like that was more meditative because I was actively seeking it instead of it popping up in my face and surprising me constantly. Like everywhere I walked, there was like people, blue dresses, blue shirts, blue eyes. I was like, it's too much. So when I just like sat down and actually like looked at buildings, I started to see like numbers were blue or like different letters or even the sky, and I would like make little poems out of that because it inspired me to like write about it in a way that was very like fun for me. I really enjoyed it. It's very playful. Oh. I feel like it was like, even though it's like collaborative and collective, it became like so inward and solitary as well. But I feel like everyone kind of entered into their own bubble, and I was like, I didn't take a walk, but I feel like I was in my mind sort of walking through how the whole, and just like kind of considering the whole experience. And it's like we're working together in a way and bringing it together at the end. But it's so like, it's just like even my project for the residency too, I feel like I'd started off planning it to be like more collaborative or like in space, but it just became way more inward and solitary than I expected. And so it feels like it's a result of the blue as well. I like that kind of it has that quality. It's surprising me.
My approach, I felt like I needed to give myself an approach, so I just wrote down all the blue things that I saw, and then like wrote like themes that came up as I was writing the things. I noticed like, well, I guess blue is kind of just like the provincial color too, so maybe that's why it's so much of a default color. But I noticed that like all of the, it felt like I wrote movement as one of them because like all the metro stuff is blue. I saw like a blue one of the bonjour taxis, all like the parking things are blue, and then like a lot of people wear jeans and jeans are blue and your legs are moving you around. So I wrote movement. I wrote, yeah, probably in partially just because we're looking for it, but it felt like, yeah, blue is everywhere. It felt very common. Like that was the color that most people were wearing. It feels like I'm somebody that has a pretty neutral wardrobe, and if I want to include a color, it's going to be blue because it's pretty safe. It felt like safe and common. And yeah, yes. And then with common, I wrote like accessible too, like the wheelchair thing is blue, and then it's also just like a color that a lot of people wear. It feels safe. Like I noticed how many ads had blue stuff. With the movement thing, I noticed all these like sports, like all the like the NFL and the MLB and the NBA like sports logos all have blue and red, so I put that into movement. So those are some of my reflections of my approach that I took.
This is like the default in some way.
Yeah. Especially for the commercials. It feels like the commercials that you don't know about, like Logitech or like NSF. Like it's like they always choose like
all blue.
it's all blue because it feels like the color like or like the color it's like the most like in between everything. And like it's like you don't have any like it's more like yeah it's I feel like if the company doesn't really have a field in which they are, it's more like oh we're going to choose blue.
Standardized.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
standardized. Yeah, and do you make research about how we connote the blue? Like for example, I mean I don't know about you guys, but like I feel like for example like emotions, like it's very it feels blue, like sadness is like connoted to blue, or I don't know. Maybe more.
Did anything like that come up for anyone? Like inwardly, like emotion or like feeling, maybe something more abstract? Like I know that I kind of was straddling like noting down really mundane details when I was doing it and counting it, but then also internally had like this like different level of experience as well that was blur. So there was that present for anyone?
Well, I was watching the many posters, the movie posters, and watching the main colors, and one was more blue than like I was trying to match emotion with colors in this map, and the one that was very blue is called El lado oscuro del corazón, which is dark and sad or worrying, definitely deep. Like I think blue for me connect to depth and underwater.
Memories.
Memories.
That was my method also. I'm really interested in like the history also of the color blue and how it's so associated with desire and collection, but then also extraction and violence of minerals. So I was looking for abject moments of blue so that you're attracted to it, but it's also kind of repulsive at the same time. So that was what I noted. And like you were saying, it sort of turned into a poem of its on its own, because I think abject is a very poetic position by default. So yeah, I was looking at a lot of chewing gum, dirty face masks, quotidian things, but they're also like very powerful collectors of like body, dust, grit. So yeah, I was looking in the gutter a lot.
Did you say abject?
Abject, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
This word. Yeah.
It's an interesting one, like bittersweet, comfort, repulsion, like with the capacity we've been discussing about blue being evocative, but also mournful, solitary, but also common.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, kind of tend to go in the direction of beauty too. And so when you start looking at what it can hold in this other more
Yeah.
that direction, I feel like what came like what else came up for you?
Well, I became very self-aware of like my own moodiness being projected on the task. So like I tried through the trajectory of finding things. Like, I found it very difficult to just open myself up to whatever I saw. I was definitely being like curatorial in the process. So as I was looking at things, I was trying to tend towards like the more sweet side of the bittersweet. But I kept on finding blobs of chewing gum, but then I would only write down the ones that were in increasingly romantic spaces. Like the last one was in a planter along the hall building, like, oh, it's gonna bloom. So it became like a bit fictionalized.
Wow.
But that's really cool. Like at least I find that really cool.
Well, thank you.
I like the way that like she said like safe, because it is kind of this like safety color, but for me I felt it more like with water, but like crashing waves, and I'm like watching them crash because it's all over the streets, like it's everywhere I look. So on the ground I couldn't get a break from the blue, and I felt like I was kind of like, whoa, this is so overwhelming.
Yeah.
But in that it's like also I recognize that it's like a safe substance to use, especially like in the work that you're doing, because it's everywhere. Like if you fixated on a different color, it'd probably be a very different project you're making. So, and And I find like even with the scraps here, like I started to notice, hey, I find these scraps like all over the ground. I could totally see where you where you got little scraps from because they're everywhere. And it was like relating to my paper. I would put it like on a tree, and then I look to the ground of the tree and like see blue stuff, and it would kind of like be interactive with what I'm doing. And I found that really cool, like together with it. Very connecting.
Sounds like you were using the paper like a divining rod.
Kind of,
Using it to
yeah.
find stuff.
I was holding it like this, and I was just like, wow, where am I going? It was very fun that way. I don't know. I even saw like I was passing by a window, and like there was a girl. She's in the window. She's just like this, and she had blue eyes, like very blue, with a blue shirt. And I looked straight at her. I'm just smiling at her, like with my paper. I'm walking. I start writing in front of her, and she's just smiling at me. What's going on? There's a lot of people like that. Like I was staring straight at them.
Yeah, I found myself like, I remember when I first started, like, I was walking around and I'd like make eye contact with people with blue eyes for much longer than I would normally, just because I noticed it and I was looking at it.
You're
and I was
like staring. But this is fun. I mean, like you make them uncomfortable, but you also have like all internal stuff going on. It's not even like about them. It's just you're wearing something, or your eye color is a certain color, your hair color is blue. Like looking at people randomly, it was fun. You know, I scared a lot of people. I even wrote down, I was like, a sweater of a hairy human. I just kept walking. I'm like, it was really funny that way. These little poems of people, and like making up my own stuff, and it's really like so weird. It's just really fun. I saw a bag of freezies. Yeah, just a random bag of freezies, and it was blue. This man was crossing the street, had a bag of freezies. I was like, okay, it's a freezie. It's so cool. Yeah.
I have a little thing to share that I wanted to find the word blue, and I wanted to find things. Well, I found blue things that were meaningful to me, or that were connecting to me. So finally finished my little scrapbook. I found a recycling bin. I love recycling, so I drew the recycling bin. And here are some blue colors I found in different recycling bins in back alleys. And I bike everywhere, so the little blue things that you lock your bike to, I drew one of those. And I didn't find the word blue, I found the word gold and the word red, which was part of the same recycling bin paper that has this blue on it, so that's why it counts. But you can see I scrambled the letters, red, blue, and I made the word blue here. And one more thing I love is music, so the big banner on South Montreal Hall is blue, which is a place that there's big concerts. I'm actually going to go on Tuesday to hear a concert there.
That's wonderful. So sweet. It's so personal too. You know, like you as the person who's making this, it's like you're like seeing how we all do it uniquely to ourselves. It must be very interesting.
Yes, quite like very intimate. Yeah. And all the work I've been doing has kind of also been in that direction. Like even this like little prototype I've made, it like feels very intimate and comforting. My home container for the past couple months of work, and it's like enacting the same sort of process as everyone else. Delightful. Okay. Right. Well, thank you everyone for
Yeah. Hey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really fun.
Seriously for your work. And it was like really
Yeah.
So should we hand this back? Yeah.
Yes, I would like. It's that. Yes, I will also be putting together into a book, and so I will send everyone PDF. Yeah, so everyone can look at each other's work and everything.
Nice.
So it'll be fun. Yeah, nice. Thanks for sharing that.
Thanks a lot.
Also, tomorrow we're gonna have a big celebration for all the artists and for Sucker. So if you guys are free from 4 to 6 here, each artist will say a little bit about their work and some things will be displayed in the space. So welcome to come.
When do the topics start? Are they right at 4? 4:30.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you.
I enjoyed it a lot.